Another beautiful chemical that is released when you celebrate with somebody else is oxytocin. This is the love drug. And this is something we will be talking a lot about in the program. It's a key component of the program is learning how to use this natural, amazing, free drug that we have, all of us have within us, oxytocin. Oxytocin is really powerful. It helps us to feel safe, connected, confident, and loved. So we really want to be celebrating together with our kids to boost up that love drug, oxytocin. While your brain is releasing all these feel-good chemicals, it is impossible for it to release the stress chemical cortisol at the same time. So it's blocking cortisol. Not only is it blocking cortisol, but it's also calming your amygdala. And the amygdala is a part of the brain that we learned about also in the 5-day challenge. The amygdala is a little bit different in people with severe ADHD. The amygdala is what senses danger. It puts us into fight, flight, and freeze mode. It is associated with memory, emotion, and aggression.
Now, oxytocin, which I need to speak about for a moment, is probably the most powerful of these reward chemicals. What happens when oxytocin releases is it switches the brain from fight or flight back into a thinking, cognitive brain. So you come back into time. It blocks cortisol. Cortisol is a stress hormone. So oxytocin blocks cortisol. It actually inhibits cortisol, which is amazing. It strengthens your immune system. So in the world we're living in right now, I can't think of anything more important than having your immune system be upgraded, which is what happens when oxytocin flows. It speeds up neuroplasticity. So it actually makes your kids smarter and learn better and remember things better, which is incredibly important as they learn and grow and try to master what's going on in school. It's exhausting for an ADHD brain to be sitting in school. We can come back to that as well. So those are just the benefits. Now, the other thing that I think is really important about oxytocin is it's free. You don't need a prescription and you don't run out. So, and you have it at your fingertips all the time. So as simple as deeply listening, deeply understanding, soothing, and getting your child will start to release oxytocin. So what do we do when our child
and for others? Love above all, it's what my mug says. I don't have it here, my rainbow mug. I don't have it with me right here, but and then thinking about on a daily basis, how can I show up? And when I think of the word love, it's like it's just like warmth throughout my whole body, and then it beams out to just like, the people around me. And so they're then getting that oxytocin hormone that to calm their cortisol and absorb the oxytocin to calm the cortisol, which is the stress hormone. So really, when I feel that sense of love and connection, the cortisol just diminishes. I can't even feel it anymore. It just overtakes. And this is what I've been working on in terms of acceptance in the world of myself and my kids. It's just really thinking about it from a place of love and true connection. And I look at it a little bit as like, when we have those, whether you have pick a word of the year, an intention of the year, whatever it might be based on your priorities and values, you can then, post that up visually and just try to emulate that in your world. It's like a lantern, it's like you can't really see without that. And so I try to like take my lantern out, a little metaphor of that, and thinking about it on a daily basis and think about ways that I can, I see the portal of my kids' grades, and what is that C minus, D plus, whatever. And how am I going to bring that up in a way that feels connected, and how am I going to sprinkle in focusing on my kids' strengths to build their self-esteem and to keep that that connection going, and also continue to like say yes to the things that are of interest to them and not just adult directed and adult focused. So those are some of the ways that I will admit, I have 2 teenage boys. I love my boys, and it can be exhausting sometimes to think about video games and sports, and that's what they're really interested in. And so finding the little things that maybe I get a little bit more stimulation out of, or also ways that I can, yes, I'm watching football, which actually I don't mind watching football, but like, we can do feet massages while we're watching, and so it's more of like a win-win for the connection piece of it too. But really just trying to follow their interests and show up and just be in their environment.
Could be that connection point, often even just getting close. If your child doesn't like to be touched, just getting closer to them, getting on their level, that eye to eye can be, bringing your energy closer together, right? And connecting with them, letting them know I'm here for you. And so if touch is something that works for them, that hug, right? It can be as simple as putting that hand on their shoulder, offering by extending your arm, wrapping around, getting close to them. Or if it's too intense, getting shoulder to shoulder, or even back to back, can be an option for the ways that we touch. And that is going to help release, all those feel good, oxytocin, all those feel good hormones that we as humans, rely on. And so